Okay, we're going to do the Reteach, page 723 to 726. I'm just going to walk you through this all the way through, explaining what to do. So if you want to pause it and try to work it out after I explain each one, that's fine, but I'm not going to give you the answers today, okay? I will post the corrections to this for your next assignment. Okay, for 1 and 2, find the equivalent fractions, okay? You can use your fraction flip book to help. For this one, they're giving you this. So you have 4/6 is equal to whatever fraction, okay? So I'll give you a hint. The denominator is thirds, right? And you have to figure out how many thirds are equivalent to 4/6. For here, this is 2/6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The denominator is 6, the numerator is 2, so this is 2/6. You can see that this amount is equivalent to this amount, so what fraction is this? What would you write there? Okay, look at, always, draw your fraction line, always write your denominator in first, then write the number that's shaded as your numerator. Okay, this one's a little trickier. Write two fractions that name the same location on the number line. Okay, what I would do first is simply cover that whole bottom part, okay? And just look at this. Can you write in this fraction right here? Okay, go ahead and write that in. Pause it if you need to. Okay, then ignore that top part, okay? See these numbers right here? I want you to draw a little fraction line right underneath it, okay? This is gonna be whole number 1, okay? So this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. You're kind of ignoring this part down here, okay? Just looking at that number line that you just drew. So you got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and you tell me this is whole number 1. How many fourths is that one, okay? And write that fraction in there. Then ignore that one. Okay, so pause if you need to. Now let's just look at this one down here, okay? You got 1/6, 2/6. Some number is 6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6. Can you fill that in? Okay. I'm just going to help you on this one. Should be 3/6, right? Now, they want to know what's another very common equivalent fraction for 3/6. Well, okay, you got 3/6 is the same as what? Look at where you are. And first of all, 3 is half of 6, right? So 3/6 is the same as 1/2. That's what they're looking for right there. That one's a tricky one. Okay, but they want you to understand that if this is the whole line, this is in fact halfway. If you have 6 parts and you're 3 of them into it, 3 is half of 6. So 3/6, think of your pizza again, right? Right? If you have eaten 3 out of the 6, you've eaten half of that pizza, okay? All right, let's take a look at the back. Okay, number 1 on the back, this is page 724. Okay, so we're just looking at 3/6, here's 3/6, compared to 5/6. Which one is bigger? Which one is greater? You're gonna write, your greater than or less than or equal symbol in there. And now ignore these up here, totally separate from that. You're looking at 4/6 compared to 5/6. Now again, look at your denominator. They're the same, which means the slices are exactly the same. So if you have 4/6 compared to 5/6, you can also use your fraction flip book. Okay, 4/6, 5/6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 4/6. Here's 5/6. Scoot you over just a little bit more. So here's 4/6. Here's 5/6. So which one is bigger? You have to do a greater than, less than. 5/8 compared to 3/8. Again, here's your 8s. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 5/8. 1, 2, 3. Here's 3/8. 3/8, 5/8. 3/8, 5/8. Which one is bigger? Okay, so you're going to do greater than, less than. Now down here is a little bit trickier. Okay, this is where we really have to put on our thinking cap and think back to that day when we ordered the pizzas and cut those. Thank goodness that happened before we left school. Okay, so here they drew the fraction strips for us, so that's a little bit easier. We got 3/4 compared to 3/8. 3/4 compared to 3/8. So you should be able to figure out which fraction is bigger, okay? Paying attention, very careful, that each fourth, the smaller the denominator, the bigger the pieces, because I'm taking this whole big part, this is my chocolate bar, and I'm dividing it into 4 equal parts. I take the same chocolate bar and divide it into 8 equal parts, and each part is going to be a lot smaller because I'm dividing it into 8 equal parts, okay? So here you have 5/6 compared to 5/8. Again, 2 ways you can look at it. You can really think about if I have 5 of each, so I have the same number of each. So basically you're asking yourself, which fraction piece is bigger? Because I have 5 of each. So if we cut a chocolate bar into 6 equal pieces, or the same size chocolate bar into 8 equal pieces, or a pizza. I cut a pizza into 8 equal slices, or I take that same size pizza and cut it into 6 equal slices. You need to stop and ask yourself, which slice is bigger, a 1/6 or an 1/8? And you have 5 of each, so you should be able to, the number of each that you have is tied, okay? You could also use your fraction flip book. 5/6 goes to right here. 5/8 goes to right there, okay? The 6 are all bigger pieces than the 8s. The bigger your denominator, the smaller the slices get because you're dividing it into that many. Look at the size of our 12ths compared to the size of our 4ths, okay? The more numbers that you divide, the more pieces that you cut something into, the smaller each piece, okay? So you want to look at that, and then you want to look at that 1/2 compared to 1/3, okay? Again, you can use your fraction flip book and look at 1/2 compared to 1/3. Okay. All right. Here, Mike, okay, but this is page 725. Okay, Mike had 2/6 of a candy bar. Sally had 4/6 of a candy bar. Whose fraction of a candy bar is closer to 0? Okay, this is where we use the halfway mark to decide. This is going to be a little bit tricky, okay? But over here, I want you to draw a number line, and I want you to do a 0 and a 1 and a half, right smack in the middle, okay? If a fraction is smaller than 1/2, if it's over here, it is closer to 0. If it is bigger than 1/2 and it's over here, it's closer to 1. So here's where your fraction flip book is really going to come in handy, okay? Look at where that halfway mark is. Okay, and if your fraction is over here, it's closer to 0. If it's over here, it's closer to 1. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these. Okay, 2/6 compared to 4/6. So we have 2/6 and we have 4/6. We want to know whose fraction of a candy bar is closer to 0 and who is closer to 1. One of these is closer to 0, one is closer to 1. Okay, if I look at my fraction flip book, I'm gonna do this like this, okay? And I'm looking at 6. Here is my halfway mark, okay? So if I have 2/6, that's over here. That's closer to 0. If I have 4/6, that's over here. That's closer to 1, because here's my halfway part. 4/6 is here, 2/6 is there. So you should be able to tell me if 2/6 is closer to 0 or 1, and if 4/6 is closer to 0 or 1. One of them is closer to 0, one is closer to 1. Okay? Paul compared 2 bags of rice. One bag weighs 4/6 of a pound, and one bag weighs 4/8 of a pound. Which bag is heavier, 4/6 or 4/8? Use your fraction flip book. Okay? 4/6 or 4/8? 4/6 or 4/8? Whichever one is bigger is going to be heavier because it's closer to 1 pound. Okay, 1 pound is right here. If we had 6/6, we would have 1 pound. If we had 8/8, we would have 1 pound. So which one is heavier means which one is closer to being a full pound. 4/6 or 4/8. Okay, use your fraction flip book. All right. Draw two number lines that are equal in length when comparing fractions with different denominators. Okay, so draw two number lines that are equal in length when comparing them. Okay, looks like they've drawn the number lines for us here. Okay, so compare, okay, they've drawn the number lines for us. Okay, so we have 2/6 compared to 3/6. So here's 2/6 and here's 3/6. Which one is greater, right? You're doing greater than, less than, or equal in there. Okay, most important, see where these ones are lined up? These are exactly the same length. If this one was like way out of here, you couldn't even compare it. They have to be the same length, and then we can compare. So here's 3/4 and here's 3/6. You tell me which one is bigger, okay? Okay. When you write the whole numbers as fractions, the numerator can be greater than the denominator. Okay, write an equivalent fraction for each whole number. Okay, what you're going to do here is you basically want a division problem that equals 3, okay? So I can do, like, if I do 6 divided by 2, 6/2 is equal to 3, because 6 divided by 2 is 3, okay? You want to write a division problem that equals 2. Write a division problem that equals 5. Write a division problem that equals 1. Remember, anything divided by itself is 1. So whole number 1 is going to be 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, 6/6, anything like that. Okay? But this, I mean, this could be 14 divided by 7, 14/7, or it could be, 4 divided by 2. All right? This one, you're basically solving the division problem. 6/3, okay? 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay? So you're going to solve each one of these division problems and tell me what whole number it is. All right, last one. Odell and Tamra paint 2 balls within the same dimensions. Odell paints 2/6 of a wall. Tamra paints 1/3. So Odell is 2/6. Tamra is 1/3. The conjecture, that means like the prediction, what they think the answer is going to be, a little bit of a hypothesis there. Odell and Tamra paint the same amount. Okay, draw a diagram. Okay, this is going to be our wall. They must be the same exact size. Okay, so they have to be the same size. So this is going to be Odell, and this will be Tamra. So if you need to pause it to catch up, please do that. Okay, Odell paints 2/6 of the wall. So you need to divide this into 6 equal parts and shade 2 of them. Tamra paints 1/3. So you need to divide this into 3 equal parts and shade 1 of the thirds. And then you tell me whether or not they painted the same amount, whether the shaded parts are equal, okay? And try to make it like as best you can, and remember to start shading this way so you can see if your shaded part here is the same as your shaded part there, okay? Good job.